The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Money Masters. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, the Money Masters.
Good day, Money Masters and Treasure Hunters. Welcome to the terrific Tuesday, July 15th edition of the Money Masters Show. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, the daily newsletter service that is, folks, it is the intelligence for creating financial freedom. Hope everyone is off to a great start today. Let's make sure we do all that we can do to have a terrific hours. I'll do a terrific Tuesday. I'll do everything I can during the next hour, though, to help you master the tools of trading. That includes taking a look at tactical patterns like the A to B equals CD pattern. We'll take a look at Gartleyan butterflies. That's going to use Fibonacci expansions and retracements. And, of course, we want to use Japanese candlesticks because those are the signs that the bulls and the bears make for you and I each and every day. If you're new to TFNN, welcome. It's a call-in talk show. That means you can give us a call at 877-927-6648. I understand what it's like. I understand that apprehension in calling into a show, even though I do this for hours on edge. Every now and then I'll call into a show. And so the blood, the heartbeat beats a little bit faster. It's a good thing. You get, So anyways, just to overcome that issue, just give us a call. We'll take a look at your stock chart. I'll make it easy for you. We'll take a look at it on whatever time frame it is you're looking at. And then, of course, we'll go up one level, maybe down a level to see what's going on inside of the equity that you are trading out there. So let's begin our day out here. This is Steve Rhodes. This is Tiger Financial News Network. This is the Money Masters Show, and welcome to the show. Right now, we've got the Dow is up 35 points. She's trading out at 17,090. S&P is trading 1979, up 2.5 points. NASDAQ Composite is flat out here right now. Russell 2000 down $2.80. NDX 100 up 270. New York Stock Exchange up 11 points. Let's take a look in on net advancing issues. Oh, there aren't any. I take that back. Just flipped to 35 net advancing issues out there. I think the number is somewhere around 1,300 or so. Net advancing issues needed today in order for the New York Stock Exchange to get into full-blown bullish mode out there. So the wider breadth of the market still in control by the bears. If we take a look at things, moving to the upside here, you got the price line up $5 right now, about 0.4%. Anadarko Petroleum up 360. We'll take a look at that equity. GoPro up 340. Visa up 296. The financial shares, FAS. We took a look at the XLF during the first hour, and that looks pretty strong, led by J.P. Morgan, led by Goldman Sachs. That's up $1.56. J.P. Morgan up $2 right now. Citigroup, as we know, was up yesterday out here. So the XLF looks pretty strong. MasterCard, I think MasterCard or Visa is also inside there. Both of those are to the upside. Western Digital Corp up $1.41 right now. To the downside out here in the market, we've got Lorillard, LO is the ticker symbol. Now, that had quite a impressive move, as I believe, with some wide price spread a couple of days ago. This thing is gapping down. Looks like this might have created an island top. Is that the case? Let's go take a look at it out here. Let's go see what Stevie's eyes actually see out here. And is this at all-time highs? Son of a gun. Wow. Okay, let's take a look at Lorillard out here. Really interesting, folks. If you're new to some of these terms out here, the most bearish pattern that you can form, or that a stock chart can form, is a most bearish or most bullish, either one. Now, at the highs, it would be most bearish, and it is where you would form an island top. Now, what is an island top? That's a great question. What it is, if you take a look at this trading session right here, this is on July the 10th. It makes a high of $64.68. The very next trading session, I recall it from a couple days ago, this is on July 11th. The low of that, $64.95. Let me just put a line across my screen out here. It's going to make it even easier for me to take a look at here. So here's our line at $64.68. Let me make sure. Yep. And the low of the trading session, well, that line kind of makes it a little bit hard for you to see. So let me do that. I'll delete that right now. But the low of the next session out here is 64.95. So we have a teeny, weeny little gap out there. Is that important? Well, it's really important now today because yesterday's move just simply moved sideways, so no real trouble out there. But this morning, gapping down. Now, volume behind the move, it's got some volume behind it. 7 million shares. So 7 million shares versus gapping up with 13 million shares. It does have some nice wide price spread back here on May 21st. It's trading into that bar. That would say it would go down and test the lows of May 20th. But an island reversal top at all-time highs. It does not get any more bearish than that. So now let's take a look. That's on its daily chart. And what that really says to me, first I want to go ahead and take a look at some trend line tools out here. So let's take a look at that. Let's come off of the low out here from the trading session of February 12, 2014. And let's take a look at the trend line out here. So the trend line really right around this level where it's at right now. Oh, did I not do that right? Okay. Let me take that trend line again. So I was off the charts, so to speak, and when you get off the charts, it doesn't like it. So there's the trend line. The trend line is tying right into the unfair low out of coincidence, which is right around the $60.53 level. So I would say this, because it's been a strong equity. If it breaks below that $60.53, I mean close below $60.53, it's going to have volume. What this is likely to do, this may be a good short setup here. This is likely to come back to the March 3rd breakout area, 25 million shares. But the low down there would likely come back and test somewhere around 49.20 to maybe 49.76 out there. If I take a look at retracements as well, let's go do that. Let's take a look at the retracements. Let's come off that same swing point that I used, which was February 12th's low, all the way up to the high that was put in here yesterday, just to take a look at retracements and what's going on. Retracements, the dead cat bounces right around 59.45, 0.618, 54.49, and the 0.786, $50.97. Yeah, I say if it breaks the trend, if it closes below the unfair low out there at 60.53, pretty decent chance that what we are looking at is a big move to the downside out here, and it certainly has the volume behind the move. So that's on Lorillard. LO is the ticker symbol. I've noted it down on my pad of paper, and I'll come back to it and see how this trades during the day. That's what's moving to the downside. You got Netflix off $6. Michael Kors down $5 right now. Priceline has now moved to the downside off $3. So I don't know what Janet Yellen is saying, but she seems to be having a little bit of an impact here inside of the markets. We've got Pioneer Natural Resources, PXD is a ticker symbol. That's off $4. So things now starting to turn down a bit out here. So let's go check in. Let's give you some of the levels to watch out here. We're going to take a look at those market profiles. Let's do that first. We've got the ES Mini, the S&P futures. Bullish today is closing above 1974. It's tested that level yesterday as well as so far this morning. It's been has rejected that area. However, it closed above 1974.05. Can't do that. 1974 would, in fact, be a nice would be a bullish breakout inside the ES Mini. So that's what we've got there. If we take a look at the Dow futures, have broken out above highs out here. They've the highs that I'm looking at are the July 3rd level. That is at the 16,994. Yesterday's close inside the futures contract was 16,978. So it closed just slightly below it. So long as the Dow stays above 16,889. That would be bullish, at least short-term bullish. And then he closed below 16,769, and that might mean a good night Irene out there. Let's take a look at the NQ, the NASDAQ futures. NASDAQ futures have it's a daily chart that we're looking at. They yesterday closed slightly above, just a smidgen out there. They closed just a smidgen above 39.18. They have rejected that area again today. What the NASDAQ, the NQ needs to do is close above 39.18 in order to have a breakout. Otherwise, 38.66 is the number to be focused on and to be paying attention to. Inside the Russell 2000, the number we're going to be watching out here, the Russell 2000 has been struggling. It has been trading below market profiles. It has a new one that arrived here this morning. 1153.32 is the number. We see it close below that. That would be additional signs that the Russell 2000 wants to continue lower. And I believe that lower is back to the bottom of the trading range, the consolidation. That's probably back to the May 15th lows, right around 1074.20 out there. So that covers the 4 index futures. We look at those because it's a great way to take a look at the market profiles levels and understand where things are running into. If we take a look at the sectors inside the S&P 500, let's go with the XLF was strong this morning, so let's continue. Let's go and take a look at that. We'll switch over. In fact, the XLF is, you've got out of the 9 sectors, you've got 4 to the upside and 5 to the downside. The XLF is up the strongest, up 0.6%. So no problems there that I see just yet inside of the financial sector. It is just formed a little market profile today. The support on this would be about 22.36 out here. Now, if we were to get a nice little market pullback out here, financial sector is probably one that I would go and focus on. We've had good news from an earnings standpoint out here, and it would be a spot that I would be paying attention to. Let's take a look at some areas where there are some struggles in the market. Let's see. The largest struggle here is the energy sector, the XLE. That's off 51 pennies, right? 0.5%. It's off 50 cents as well. So I got that right. But let's go see what it's doing on its. That was the weekly charts that we were looking at when I was looking at those market profiles. I have to go back and take a look at daily. Nonetheless, let's switch over to the daily. Inside of the energy sector, it's completed a 1 to 1.272 A to B equals CD to the upside. That's coming off the lows on April the 11th. The high at 95.25 on May 7th was your B point. Your C point out here was the low on May 15th. If we take a look at what it is doing, hasn't really broken down. A breakdown, taking out a swing point would require a close below the trading session here from just a few days ago, July the 11th. A close below that low, 98.14, 98.04 is the market profile low. I would start to switch things towards a bearish camp out here. In fact, the energy sector, which has been so strong, if you're watching this on Tiger TV, this is how we'll go ahead and use those market profiles. Take a look at the energy sector coming off lows on February 6, 2014. Those are the green horizontal lines going across my screen. Look at how those have always acted as support on the entire move up. We have not seen a close below a market profile low inside of the energy sector ever since that move up. Likewise, at this stage here, it's not taking out resistance. It's new resistance line, which is at 101.08. Any close above that says, hey, continued off to the races. Any close below 98.04, that says we now have a change in trend that's taking place. Now let's take a look at a trend. Let's look at a trend line out here and see what we've got going. We'll come off of the low out here from February 5th. So I use that as my touch point, and I'll just use, this looks like a good trend to me because that's in essence touching the swing low from March 20th. It's also using the swing low from April 11th out there. And look at that, how that just kind of conjoins, if that's a word, with that market profile low at 98.04. That's the level to be watching on the energy sector. The close below that sounds like a shorting opportunity to Stevie side. 877-927-6663. Right back.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different future contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now, you can receive a free 2-week trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the Signal Box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Andy Heck's powerful weekly newsletter, the Technomental Commodity Report, has delivered multiple triple-digit winning trades in recent months. And right now's the perfect time to get a full month-long trial to Andy's newsletter with no obligation to pay anything. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you'll lock in the low rate of only $59 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's up 14 points. Otherwise, everything else has turned slightly red out here. Like you get Russell 2000 leading the charge, the downside up 0.5%. Otherwise, a relatively muted move so far. Composite down 12 points. That's about 0.25% out here. To the downside, you got the Chipotle Mexican Grill. The Chipotle is on fire. Netflix is off 740. Pioneer Natural Resources, that Lorillard off 7% here, forming that island reversal. Let's go check in on that Chipotle. CMG is the ticker symbol. I believe they're out with earnings this week. As I recall, in doing the segment with Amy Smith yesterday, it doesn't populate on my screen. Let's see, May 17th. So probably the April 17th was the 2014 was the last earnings date. So it probably is actually going to be on the 17th. But if we take a look at Chipotle, let's go see what it's doing. We're looking at a daily chart out here. What we know about Chipotle is it's been on fire. It tested the swing point here from March the 21st. 778,000 shares traded hands that trading session. And when price moved up into it yesterday, light volume, whoosh, 325,000 shares. So that price was also tested on July 10th, 425,000 shares. At this stage, not enough volume to push up and over those highs. Has been consolidating sideways. This is not a short. not a short candidate here as I see it. You'd want to see this thing break a swing point to the downside. That swing point, by the way, is from July 8th. That had volume to the downside of only 520,000 shares, so it's not as if there were a ton of sellers to the downside either. This thing may just be consolidating sideways out here. That's what's going on Chipotle. Break that swing point, that'll change the trend for sure. And where will that pull price down to? It's an excellent question. You'd really have to go just take a look at and assess the retracement levels. Let's do that. That would be the low from April 28th to the high that was put in here. We use the high from yesterday. That says that the likely area about 524.50 is your 0.618 retracement area, and that would be the likely target. And that is on Chipotle. CMG is the ticker symbol. We've got to the downside Netflix. Let's take a look at, we almost look at them daily, so let's not do that. Let's come back and let's take a look at the Pioneer Natural Resources. PXD is the ticker symbol. Let's look at that. That looks like this is beginning a bearish trend, and a little bit of confirmation here today. It's traveling below the market profile low, 222.61 out here, and it's traveling below, let's see here, Pioneer Natural Resources. This thing had a nice big... let me see if it was a key reversal session out here. It was certainly extremely overbought. The high on June 23rd, 233.92. Yeah, it was. So you get a nice big reversal signal right here in the trading session of June 24th as it was making its high out here. Is that all-time high? Let me see this. Yeah, it is. I think it is. Let me put it on a weekly chart. Let's do that. Then we can go back and take a look at the daily chart. Now, the weekly chart was what's referred to as a key reversal session in the marketplace. Yeah. So at all-time highs, makes a little key reversal session on the daily and on the weekly chart. So that's interesting. So Pioneer Natural Resource, let's take a look at where this is likely to head to. I'm just looking here for some volume, and it's trading into that session. So and the session I'm referring to is the week of November 11, 2013, November 4th, 2013. So I would have to say that probably about the 187, 188-ish mark, maybe it's as low as a 184.06 would be a likely target, and that is Pioneer Natural Resources. Now let me switch back over to the daily chart out here. Well, I'm going to look at the monthly chart. Just look at monthly real quickly, see what it is that I can see on this. Yeah, because the resistance, the support should have been this candle session right here, which was October the 1st. Once it got above 227.42, it should have held that level. Against a monthly chart, it did hold that level last month, and we're only halfway through this month. So if it can stay above 227.42, that would be bullish. If not, then it starts to pull back into the 144-ish range. That's what the monthly chart would be suggesting to us. That is on Pioneer Natural Resources. PXD is the ticker symbol. This morning here, 235,000 shares to the downside out here. That's after making a high with 1.8 million shares. So you're seeing a little bit of volume accelerate to the downside. Hey, we got about 30 seconds. I'll try this. I don't know if I can do this live. I've got the eSignal app on my system. I'm going to see if I can see myself here. Oh, in fact, I can see my screen. There we go. It's a little weird in the ear, but you can see how... Look at that. You can move this screen around. You can go ahead and make it smaller or what have you. Folks, go test drive. Go test drive the eSignal version 12. You can do it. Hey, TFNN listeners, they get a, if you subscribe to it, you can try it for 60 days for free. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock in option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Really flattish market. The Dow's up 10 points. The S&P is down 1. You know, before we go into break there, I was mentioning the eSignal platform. Version 12 is the platform that you need to run in order to be able to see Tiger TV live 24 hours a day. Of course, truly live for 9 hours a day out there. And there is if you were to go to the eSignal website, you would see that you can test drive the application for 30 days. But if you contact their customer service department, you tell them you heard it here, and here only at TFNN.com, they'll go ahead and give you a 60-day free trial. So, if you're just trying to, if you've used other charting services and maybe they're not performing, they're not providing all the info for you, it's a great service. I use it. I've used eSignal forever for my data feed. Now I've gotten extremely comfortable with the charting application, plenty of power inside the system. So for 60 days, it is a worthwhile if you're trying to step up your game and learn about technical trading. Do yourself a favor. The offer doesn't get much better than that. Back to the markets out here. We took a look at Pioneer Natural Resources. Let's take a look at Michael Kors. Haven't looked at that for a while. That's off about 5%, down 460 right now. I don't see don't see the numbers out here, but I believe they are reporting sometime this week. But I don't see it on my screen. But this gap down here this morning, it's got some pretty decent volume behind it. It's taking out a swing point here of an A to B equals CD to the downside. That's that lightning bolt pattern. So gapping down. The B point on this was from April the 7th. That had volume of 5.4 million shares out there. So far this morning, it's done, not good, done 6 million shares. Now, it does have a sign of strength out here that it has moved down into. Now, that sign of strength had 23 million shares, but if I do my math correctly, we've been trading for an hour. If you take 6 million shares, multiply times 6, you'd get 36 million, add another 3, you'd have 39 million shares versus the potential breakout of only 23. So it's coming into this is how you don't buy a breakout, by the way, because you want to see price come back into a breakout with light volume. But if we take a look at, so we'll take a look at patterns out here. Let's take a look at A to B equals CD patterns. We'll take a look at, see if there's any other signs of strength that might provide support to Michael Kors. 1 to 1.272 is where it broke down to gap down into today, and that's out at the 179.46 level. Its actual low thus far this morning has been inside Michael Kors has been 79.75. I don't think that is the extent of the run out here. We'll take a look. Let me put this on a weekly chart. Let's put this on a weekly. See what we've got here for Michael Kors. Nice little uptrend for sure. Okay, didn't save that. Let me do this here. Let me just remove a couple of things. Remove that, and let me remove that. Okay, just a little bit cleaner to take a look at. Now, if we take a look at Michael Kors all the way from the get-go, it looks like this thing has broken its trend out here. So that's not a good scene. The trend I'm talking about on the weekly chart is coming all the way back to the IPO date trend. So it's had one heck of a, it's really trading right into it as let's just use this as the trend. Let's use the channel-ish line. Yeah, let's use that. So that's really what it's, I'm going to come back and draw a channel. Let's do that instead of the trend out here. So let me delete these things here. Let me just move it back oops, need to delete the tool. So let me just move it back just a tad. So let's take a look at the rising price channel that this had been traveling in. And I'm coming all the way back to the IPO date, and we're just using the body of the candle. So we're using the body of the candle. We're trying to find co-located opens and closes. I would have to say that's really it. It's trading right into it, right into that area as we speak right now. And if it breaks this rising price channel, I'm not so worried about trying to get the top of this rising price channel here correct, because it's really the bottom that we're dealing with. So if we take a look at on a weekly chart where this has moved down into, if it cracks below that, you've seen a longer term, because this is a weekly chart that we're looking at for Michael Kors, you will have seen a larger change in trend inside of this equity out here. So that is dangerous. Now, the volume on the breakout session from a weekly standpoint was 47 million shares. That was on February the 3rd. So it looks to me like that low should at least be tested this week, and that low is at 76.15. And if it closes below that low out here, starts to get a little dicey inside this equity as far as where it will pull back to. But Michael Kors, very important to be watching what that equity does here today. If we take a look at Illumina, ILMN, that's off about $4. Also another high flyer out here. So let's go see what it is doing. This looks a little bit better than the Michael Kors stock chart does. So on the weekly basis, doesn't look too shabby here. Not at the moment. It tried to take out its swing point high from the week ended March 3rd, 2014, 12.4 million shares out there. And when it was up there, it had 5 million shares. So not enough volume to break it up. We know what's going on the weekly basis. It's up above its resistance area, which is at 173 out there. If we take a look at the trading, this could easily pull back into the swing points here if it breaks that resistance level, 172.84, and the next swing point down is down around the price level of 127.69. Let me switch over now to the daily chart. Let's see what kind of volume we've got going on inside this equity here today. So far to the downside, about 241,000 shares out here, so nothing big. I would have to say that this equity probably finds some support at the top of June 5th. That top of June 5th is at 168.47. 169.88 is its market profile low out there, so that should act as support. If it breaks below, if it closes below 168.47, then not looking good for Illumina, ILMN. Okay, so we've got the market selling off a bit. You've got the Dow now off 10. The Russell 2000 down 11. So let's go take a look at a couple of charts that are going to be very important for you to be focused on and watching today. Let's take a look at the VIX index. It's going to be important. If we look at the VIX right now, it's traded at 1208. 50-day exponential moving average is 1205. We saw it close above it. That was on the trading session July 10th. It closed right on it on Friday. Moved down just a bit here yesterday, so back above. If it stays above 1205 today, that's bearish. That's a bearish sign. Well, now, when I say bearish, what I really mean, it could be retracement level. So let's face it, from a longer-term standpoint, make sure that you're interpreting my message properly. And if you've got questions, just call me on the radio show, and I'll explain it to you even further. That's at 877-927-6648 out here. But if you take a look at what happens to the market when the VIX trades above the 50-day exponential moving average, the VIX is on the top portion of my chart. The market is on the bottom portion of my chart, and you'll see a market that moves lower. It's really simple. It's black and white. It is as clear as what is clear these days? I don't know. It's as clear as a stream in Montana if you were going to do some fly fishing out there. So in any event, to me, it's as clear as can be. You go do the work yourself. Go put the 50-day exponential moving average on your stock chart for the VIX, and go put on the another chart or in the bottom side, wherever it is, go put the S&P 500, and you'll see the correlation there. So that's going to be an important level to be watching today. In the first hour, we were taking a look at the little consolidation pattern that the Euro Japanese yen had been traveling. And let's go check out that intraday chart. We can see price now again coming back and testing that breakout area, that breakout being yesterday's candle session between 3 and 3:30 in the morning. So at this stage here, you can see we have the VIX kind of up against a resistance, potential resistance, maybe a support level. And we've got the Euro Japanese yen really doing the same thing. Something to think about. Two great liquidity gauges out there. If we do see a break below 137.85 inside the Euro Japanese yen, that presents some problems for it. But the real problems inside the currency pair, the real message of the markets comes with a close below on the daily chart, the June 12th low, 137.65 out there. So that's those are the things to be paying attention to. New York Stock Exchange, look, that is in control of by the bears. But what has that done so far for the NYSE? We take a look at it, no real big shakes out here, because if we look at, the actual high, which was from July 3rd, 11,105, you're at 10,958. 150 points. It's not that big of a deal out here. But what we're likely to see, if the bears really have any kind of energy, what we're likely to see is a New York Stock Exchange that gets down to about 10,958.33, right around there. That is the 50-day exponential moving average. And if we see a move down to that level, well, that's what I would expect. If it breaks that level, we'll likely see price run all the way down to the lows here from April the 15th, right around the 10,407-ish range out there. So that's what's going on inside the New York Stock Exchange, the markets as well. You've got gold is up $1, silver is up 9 pennies out there, so no big shakes. Hey, we haven't looked at light sweet crude. Let's go look at that. So let's look at light sweet crude, because that is certainly broken down, $99.51. And, I tried catching a short trade a couple of times in light sweet crude, primarily because of the large net short positions that the large commercials had taken inside of light sweet crude, and both times I got stopped out of that trade and should have fired away again. The reason that I bring that up is because we've got a similar situation here in Goldilocks and silver. But let's switch over to light sweet crude. Let's go take a look and see where it is likely to head to. Now we'll put the market profiles up on our screen. We'll look at the daily. In fact, let's switch over to the weekly market profile here, because the daily, that's been busted. to the downside for sure. Let me see where we're at on the weekly profiles, and the same thing on the weekly. So this week here, you've got light sweet crude is broken through 101.01. The week's not over, but that is a level that is supposed to hold as support, and it has not. So now let's just take a look at retracement areas here for light sweet crude. If we go from the low from the swing of January in 2014, January 6th, up to the high on the trading session, the week ended 6/23, what we'll see is that prices below the 0.382 retracement level. That was at 100.66. Also happened to be very close to that market profile low. It says that we should see 96.44, maybe even 93.43 on this next retracement inside of light sweet crude. Now, as I say, the large commercials, I probably have a chart on that. Let me see if I can locate that so you can get a feel for what that looks like. I think if I go back right here, let's see if I've got the large commercials. If I've got the weekly chart out here that showed that pattern. It is not here. It is somewhere with inside all of these tabs. I'm not going to search it for you, but I can just tell you, and hopefully you'll rely upon me. I do the work, so you should. And that is that the large commercials had taken net short positions. This was during the Ukraine stuff, during everything going on with Russia, and large commercials continued to build their net short positions. So they were expecting quite a fall. Now, those large commercials, they can afford, they takes them a while to build a position out there. And they can weather the storm a little bit more than what the type of storm that I want to weather out there. And we've got that same situation going on inside of gold. Again, I haven't updated this chart out here, but I can tell you, if you take a look at their positions, let me do this here, window, down, vertical. What I can tell you is last week they upped their net short positions out there, and to levels that suggest that we should see further declines in gold as well as silver. Those further declines ought to take us down. I'm thinking a scary low, and that's what I don't know. Logical areas of price, 1280, 1263. But I'm thinking it's not until we see a scary low, one where everybody says, okay, it's over. That move in gold, it's overdone. It is over and done with, and I don't think that we are there just yet. I don't know whether it's 1280, 1263, or 1240. I know that when I see it, I'll know what it means, and it'll be scary to go ahead and buy out there. But that's what I suspect is what we're going to see, and it may be the same thing inside of light sweet crude as well. Although I'm more conviction behind what gold is going to do. Primarily because of this nice 13.5-month cycle pattern that exists inside this complex out here. So same type of movement in silver. If we go take a look at some of the mining equities, let's go see what some of those are doing. Had a couple of calls last night. I don't think I have those ticker symbols still on my screen, but let's go take a look at a couple of them anyways. Let's take a look at Randgold. GOLD is the ticker symbol. Hey, not too shabby. That's up 44 cents as we speak today. But let's see what it was doing here yesterday. So GOLD is the ticker symbol. Yesterday it moved lower with, on light volume. So the mining equities here haven't really pulled back too much. 602,000 shares yesterday. That was after making a high out here with 1.1 million shares. So not too shabby there. How about another one? What should we look at here? Let's take a look at Yamana Gold. AUY is the ticker symbol. I think it was there with a silver stock we looked at yesterday as well. I can't recall which one. Allied Nevada, that was a gold stock or a mining stock. So we'll take a look at that. I do recall that was one of the requests. Not too shabby here on AUY. It is... why have I lost my market profiles? I'll put them back up on the screen when we get back from this breakout here. Right now, we've got the Dow is up 22, S&P down 7, NASDAQ down 32 points. We'll be right back, folks.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy. A set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
Catch Basil Chapman as he uses his Chapman Wave methodology to call the markets. The Tiger Technicians Hour, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's up 21, S&P down 6, deposit up 31 points right now. Flat market in gold and silver, not a flat market in light sweet crude. Let's check in on W.R. Grace. GRA is the ticker symbol. A friend of mine sold his business many years ago, medical business, to W.R. Grace out here. Let's go see what it is doing today. Gapping up. Volume behind the move here this morning, 450,000 shares, trying to take on a swing point that's got 824,000 shares. That's from June the 19th. If it can close above 96.33 out there, and just so happens 96.33 Well, that's also its market profile resistance area. So it's moving into that area with volume. If it breaks above that, that sets up an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. I would take it down, or take it up to, I should say. The 8 point is going to be the low here from June the 11th. The high is going to be the trading session June the 19th out here. The C point is going to be the low on July 10th. 1-to-1 says, hey, it only wants to move up to 97.63. And at 97.63, really at 96.08, runs into maybe a little bit of turbulence at the downdraft of April 23rd, 1.3 million shares, but 451,000 shares. It should be able to handle that turbulence. It should be able to climb all the way up, probably to the top of that swing point, which would get it into the 102.65. But it first has to clear the B point before it gets clearance to move to higher price. That's ticker symbol GRA. That is WR Grace and Company. Let's see, what else do we have that's moving? So we know Lorillard. Let's see what the volume, how the volume here looks, what it is doing. Big Island reversal pattern out there at all-time highs. Now, both the most bearish pattern, okay, that's what it is, as well as if Lorillard takes out those highs, and assume that it does at some point in time, that'll tell you just how strong that equity is, because when the most bearish of patterns fail, there's nothing more bullish than that. So, but at this stage here, you've got to deal with the pattern at hand, and this says that Lorillard wants to pull back even further out there. What else do we have? Let me see. What's moving up today? You've got Cash America International, Johnny Cash, CSH is the ticker symbol. Oh, this thing is trying to bounce off of some lows out here. Let's go see what it's doing. It's coming into an area where it broke out. So this thing here, ticker symbol is CSH. On the trading session of April the 10th, this thing broke topside with 1.7 million shares. It pulled back yesterday with only 691,000 shares. Now, it pulled back right into the gap out here. Let me just do this. See if I can do this quickly. Let's clean the chart just a tad. There we go. So now it's nice and clean. Let's clean it up just a little bit more. Let's get rid of that. So now we get a better picture of what this has done. Now let's put a line tool out here. Let's take a look at the bottom of the gap. That was at $40.91. You can see how it's traded into that level, and it's done it on lighter volume. The better potential buy on this, if you were interested in buying this, and I'm not suggesting that you do so, but if you did, the better buy on this equity is right down here at the where it actually broke out from, and that is on the April 9th area. That's down right around the 38.22 mark, and I suggest that because it's already had, it's already had two gaps down out here. So the moves seem to be to the downside, although it did pull back into a breakout area with light volume. Well, folks, it is terrific Tuesday. Yeah, it is terrific Tuesday already. That means our man Basil Chapman, I see gold now taking off to the downside, so resuming its move lower. Remember, folks, it's going to put in a scary low. It should put in a scary, scary, scary low. That's the one you want to be buying. Have a great day, folks. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.